Imagine walking into a fashion store and being welcomed by a mobile AI fashion advisor. It can scan your body, create a visual fashion look, recommend the right product, and then guide you through the store to find them. If you want more help, it can even take you to a VIP area. This is a product I started imagining when Mistral AI released RoboStral Navigate. RoboStral Navigate is Mistral AI's first embodied navigation model. It allows a model to navigate through a real space using only one ordinary RGB camera and natural language instruction. And I think this changes an important product decision. Until now, building a robot that could move through a store, a hotel, warehouse, or exhibition space often required deep cameras, LiDAR, multiple cameras, and a lot of mapping before development. That makes a robot more expensive, and also it makes the entire product more difficult to install, maintain, and adapt it when the environment changes. So the RoboStral Navigate takes a different approach. Instead of always relying on a process maps, it looks at the current camera image and predicts where the robot should move next. It can think of it as giving the robot eyes and can understand human language. That is one of the reasons it can adapt to more environments. And then, RoboStral Navigate is an 8 billion parameter model built entirely in-house by Mistral AI. It was not created by simple fine-tuning an existing open-source version language model. Instead, it was built on top of Mistral AI's own vision language model, which was already good at pointing, counting, and locating objects. For training the navigation capability, Mistral AI generated navigation trajectories across 6,000 simulated scenes. That means before entering a real environment, the model has already learned how to move and follow instructions across a large number of different virtual environments. And with their training method, it could reduce 22 times tokens during supervised training for deployment process. This can turn training runs from several months into several days. And beyond that, the model accepts natural language instructions. Operators can be anyone because they don't need to learn a complicated set of robot control commands. They can simply describe the task as talk with other human. And for the benchmark, we can see that it achieved a success rate of almost 80%. This model could adapt it better and better to environment by its enforced learning systems and also adapt to robots of different size as well. We know this is important because different type of robots understand obstacle different. Like a wheel robot normally needs a relatively flat surface, but a legged robot has more space underneath its body, so sometimes that is an obstacle for a wheeled robot may not be an obstacle for a leg robot. In the past, one navigation model might only have worked with one particular type of robot, but now RoboStral Navigated can support more robot type and more robot size. So we can imagine that it can reduce repeated development work and it can also help the robots enter more complex environments. So if we take these stronger abilities to adapt a new environment, I think it could lead to many different types of space and products. For example, a service space like a bank, hotel, exhibition centers, restaurant, and or shopping malls. Many of these spaces already use service robots, but many of today's robots can only walk into a fixed location or follow a road that already has been defined in advance. So, if a shopping mall changes its layout, luggage suddenly appears in a hotel corridor or an exhibition center becomes crowded, the robot's work may be affected. So if a robot can understand its current environment simply and receive a new task through a natural language, it can provide navigation, customer management, and customer service more flexibly. So maybe we can imagine in a bank, it could be a support customer while they are waiting, which service a customer needs, get them to a correct area and help the bank directly different customers to different service points. Or in the sales environment, as I said at the beginning of the video, the value of a robot is not limited to completing sales or customer service tasks. It can also make the entire space feel more technological and futuristic. From the moment a customer enters the store, the robot can create a completely different kind of experience. If these capabilities were replaced inside a mobile robot, this kind of sales assistant could guide the customer to the correct product counter or guide them into a VIP space with a fashion sales or a beauty sales or a car sales to make the sales space more futuristic and help the store convert experience into a purchase. And the third type could be a production or logistic space. Like in a logistic, the model could be deployment in a mobile equipment or an automatic shelving system. It could update to changes in warehouse layout and support the movement of goods. Like inside of a factory, it could also be used in a transportation, moving materials automatically between two stages of the production process. In the past, if a warehouse changes the position of its shelves or a factory adjusts its production lines, the navigation system might also need to be mapped and updated again. But the stronger abilities to generalize across environments could reduce some of this repeated deployment work. And beyond these scenarios, the models could also enter more space connected with people like housekeeping, restaurant service, or even for automatic driving. Once the robot's movement becomes more natural, it is no longer limited to performing an automated task in a fixed location. It can actually enter the environment where people live and work, and adapt as those environment changes. So I think the real change brought by RoboStral Navigate is not simple as removing one sensor from the robot. It turns robot navigation more natural. So after this video, where do you think these capabilities will create real value first? Maybe the logistic, manufacturing, hospitalities, retail, or a use case we have not imagined yet. I will also post this official blog and the link to the contact the team in the comment. And let's bring more device into robotic ecosystems. See you next time.